Hey guys, today we are making 3 sweet treats for St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is a big holiday for my family. My grandfather was born in Ireland and he was so very proud of that and instilled that in us as well. We always had the biggest St. Patrick's Day parties. He did so many deep dives into our family history and traditions. I even learned how to Irish step dance, which was so much fun. So anyway, these are not traditional Irish recipes at all. They're just desserts that I would serve at our big St. Patrick's Day family parties. So we will be making chocolate Guinness cupcakes, Irish potato candy, and Irish whiskey ice cream. So let's go get started. So let's start out with the Guinness cupcakes. So in my bowl here I have 12 ounces of Guinness, and to that I'm adding a half a cup of vegetable oil, a half a cup of milk, 3 eggs, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And we just want to whisk that together really well. And then we're going to fold in 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. So now in a separate large bowl, I am going to combine all of our dry ingredients. So I have 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, 2.5 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. So we just want to whisk that together and combine. And then we are going to slowly add that mixture into the wet mixture. Now I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and this makes 24 cupcakes. So I have my 2 cupcake tins all lined and ready to go. And we just want to fill them about half to 3/4 of the way full. Just divide the batter evenly. And we are going to bake them for about 25 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. So now while those are baking, I'm going to make a vanilla buttercream. So I have 1.5 cups of butter softened. And we just want to beat that with a stand mixer or a hand mixer until it's nice and creamy. And then I'm adding in 4 cups of powdered sugar, just in batches so that it gets nice and incorporated. And then I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and 2 to 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, half and half, or milk. And I would just start with 2 tablespoons and see how thin the icing gets. You want this to still be nice and thick and creamy, but not too thick where you can't pipe it or spread it out easily. So I like to beat this in my mixer for about 6 to 7 minutes just to get it really, really nice and light and fluffy. And then once the cupcakes come out of the oven, we want to place them on a wire rack to cool completely. And then I am just using a piping bag with a piping tip to frost my cupcakes, but you could just use a butter knife and keep it simple. And then I got this really adorable sprinkle mix on Amazon for St. Patrick's Day. It's got little 4-leaf clovers in it, so cute. And I'm going to show you here a close-up of how I pipe. It's just really simple. You just start in the center and work your way out. Just keeping a nice even pressure on the bag as you squeeze. And there you have it, super easy. I love the way the Guinness complements and brings out the chocolate flavor even more, and it just makes them so tender and light and fluffy. Really something special. So now let's move on to the Irish potato candy. Now this, I believe I read, was invented in Philadelphia a long time ago. It's not from Ireland, but it makes little potatoes, which is so adorable. So these are great for kids. So I have 4 ounces of cream cheese and a 1/4 cup of butter, both softened to room temperature, and we just want to whisk those together to combine them completely. And then we are going to mix in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, as well as 4 cups of powdered sugar. And we just want to add that in batches, about a cup at a time. And I would recommend, if you have a hand mixer, definitely use it. This stuff gets so thick. It's so hard to explain. It genuinely tastes like a taffy candy when you're done. So it's definitely takes a lot of muscle if you do it by hand. So once that's all combined, we are going to stir in 2.5 cups of coconut flakes. And then we just want to refrigerate this for about an hour so that the mixture gets really firm. And then once that time is up, I'm going to combine 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon in a small bowl. And you just want to take about 1-inch balls of this mixture and roll it into your hands. You can kind of make it into the shape of a potato, like more of an oval, and you just roll it in the sugar. These are just so delicious and addicting. They remind me of the filling of a Mounds bar, but then rolled in that cinnamon sugar, and they're just so adorable, and like I said, kids love them. And next up is my Irish whiskey ice cream. Now this is not appropriate for kids. The whiskey is not cooked off at all, so definitely for adults only. But it goes great on Irish apple pie or my apple cake recipe, which is a traditional recipe. I will have linked down below. This is really good with that. So what I have here is 1.5 cups of heavy cream and 1/2 cup of milk, and you want them to be nice and cold. And then we're mixing in 3/4 cup of sugar, and you just want to whisk that for a couple of minutes to get that sugar dissolved a little bit. And then I have 1/4 cup of cold water, and I'm sprinkling on a 1/4 ounce package of gelatin. And you just want to let that sit 1 minute, and then pour over 1/4 cup of boiling water and stir that together. So then we want to mix that into our cream and milk mixture and refrigerate for about 2 hours. And when you take it out of the fridge, you'll see it's already going to be nice and thick, and we want that because whiskey obviously isn't going to freeze well, so having the gelatin in this ice cream makes it just keep that ice cream consistency a little bit easier. So I have the bowl of my ice cream machine. You want to put that in the freezer at least 24 hours before you make ice cream so it stays nice and cold. And we just want to churn this for about 20 minutes until it starts to get nice and thickened. And then we're pouring in 1/3 cup of whiskey and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we just want to churn that for an additional 10 minutes. And then we'll place that in a airtight container and pop it in the freezer. You want to put it in the freezer for about an hour before serving. It's just so rich and creamy, and it's got that little bit of that whiskey flavor in there. And as I said, with some caramel on top or on top of apple pie or apple cake, oh my gosh, it's just incredible. And this was always a huge hit at our family parties. I really hope you enjoyed coming along and making 3 sweet treats for St. Patrick's Day with me. As I said, this holiday, even though it is more of an American holiday, is really so near and dear to my heart and my family, and I am so happy to share it with you. So if you give any of them a try, please let me know what you think down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching until the end. We'll see you next time. Bye.